Hello everybody, it's a beautiful day here in Austin, Texas. It's the first week in April. My clients here on this remodel behind me are just about ready to move in. We're just a few days away from finishing this house. We're putting the final touches on it. It's been a really fun remodeling project. As you can see, we really terraced this house into the hillside. And this house before was really kind of the ugly duckling. Kind of a small one-story house that was basically on stilts with an open crawl space underneath. And during the course of this remodel, we've really terraced it into the hillside. We've added this great pool. That curve shape behind me there is a wonderful pool and patio space with an outdoor kitchen and outdoor fireplace. And if you pan over there, you can see just the corner of that ladder, and there's an open garage door. This house, because it's built on a hillside, we've got a really nice tall crawl space that we were able to utilize for some of the utility connections. And we've got kind of a neat water heater set up, which is really the purpose of this video. So let's go down there and I'm going to show you my very first installation of a Rheem HP-50 heat pump water heater. It's a really neat product and we used it in a fairly unique way on this house. So let's turn off the camera for a second and we'll restart it downstairs in that crawl space. I just wanted to orient you a little bit to the house so you'd understand where we were when we start filming down there. Okay, so we're down here in the crawl space. I pointed this out from when we were shooting the video down at the lake there a minute ago. And inside the crawl space, the architect designed this kind of neat little closet space for us for originally just a one lowboy unit, a 50-gallon lowboy. And so this is a standard electric water heater. But we really wanted to do as high efficiency of water heating as we could in this project. And Rheem came out with their HP-50 heat pump water heater after this project had already was well underway. And so I talked to my clients about adding one of those into the system, and in fact what we've done now is run two water heaters. So we've got this low boy and we went down to a 40-gallon for this, and then if you look over here, this is our primary heater. So this is a Rheem 50-gallon heat pump water heater, which is a very, very efficient unit. And it's twice as efficient as a standard electric resistance unit. So the way these run is this low boy takes the water from the street, that's the first tank to come to, and then the low boy dumps into this unit. And the reason why we did two water heaters in this job is this is a lake house. They've got a pool, they've got boat access and a dock not too far from their property, and they're going to have certain very high demand periods, mainly during weekends on the summer. And so when they've got those high demand periods, there's some switches inside, I'll show you in a minute, where they can disable either this unit or this unit, either independently basically. So 90% of the year, or really more like 98% of the year, when it's just the husband and the wife clients here in this house, this unit will be disabled. So the water from the street will come in here, it'll be cold water, and it'll feed into this Rheem very efficient water heater. So they're going to have 50 gallons of standard electric hot made by a very high efficiency unit, and then this unit then feeds the hot water in the house. When they've got some company coming, when they know they've got a house full of guests and a party going on, there's a switch inside they'll flip, and this one will heat 40 gallons of hot. It'll dump into this one, which will have 50 gallons of hot, and now they'll have 90 gallons of standby. So in those real high demand times, those weekends of the year when they need a lot of hot water, they'll have it. The rest of the year, this unit can be off and will feed cold water into this tank. We didn't originally frame this assuming that this water heater was going to be here, so we had to plumb it a little differently. We would have liked to have had these units very close to each other. So we've got a little bit of piping from this unit up here down to this unit and then back to the house. We added a few extra piped feet, but we did a real nice job of insulating those. And we also needed to make sure we had the proper clearances for this unit, because you need a minimum, I think it's of 10 inches clearance at the top of this unit, and so had we put it at the top of the landing, we would not have had proper clearance to the ceiling. And so actually putting it here in this intermediate landing worked out real well. And we're right near the sewer pump for this house, the ejector pump, and so it worked out real well because this unit, because it's so efficient, it's condensing water out of the air, and it needs a condensate line, and so we're able to dump that basically right into a sewer tap rather than having to pump that out. So be cautious if you're retrofitting one of these units. You need to think about where that water is going to go when it's building up condensation. So now that we've seen both these units, and by the way, this unit's operating. I don't know if you can hear, but it's very, very quiet. So if you're going to have this close to your living space, would seem to me like this unit would not really bother you. But let's go upstairs now, and I'll show you those switches and show you how those controls work and how we set that up on the inside. So join me upstairs. We're going to walk up to the house, and I'll turn this back on in just a second. Okay, we're back in the house now. So those those tank water heaters are actually right on the other side of this wall here. The label maker hasn't been on the job yet, but I think we zoomed in a second ago. It's labeled low boy and big boy, so we'll label those a little better. It really should say primary. The big boy is the primary, so that one will be on about 99% of the time. The low boy, on the other hand, we're only going to flip that unit on when they have company. So most of the year this will be on the off position, and on Friday afternoon when they know they've got some family coming into town that night, all they're going to do is come over here and flip this guy on. And then let's say if they're going away for a couple days or a week and they want to turn both those units off, it's real easy for them. You don't have to go in the crawl space, just hit both these buttons off right here. I think it's going to be a real efficient way to heat water for this house. And if you are doing a remodel or new construction, you're in an area where you don't have gas service, I really think these Rheem HP-50s are a great unit. As I mentioned before, they're twice as efficient as a standard unit, and if you run them in tandem like this, there's really no reason why you would need any more. This would basically give us as much hot water as a tankless water heater with 90 gallons on standby and 2 units that both have 40 amp circuits wired to them. So it's really, I think, going to work out real well for this client's house out here at the lake. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.